The very first time I actually skateboarded in a, in a pro contest, I didn't even enter. I just skated away. I was in Frisco and I skated down the street. Started fucking skating this. I'm not going. I don't give a fuck. I was really. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. I was a shy person growing up. When I was growing up, we were all skaters, and we were kind of like, if you had to classify like a high school lunch area, we were like the punk rockers and outcasts and the skateboarders. That's where we clung to. I always felt like music was right with skateboarding. Every jam we'd go to, every ditch we'd skate, we'd have a boombox playing music. It was crucial. Metallica, Minor Threat, and punk rock in general. That music was the theme music to all of our gigs. I remember falling in love with Operation Ivy and showing Mike Ternowski, I'm like, this band is so good. And he got turned on to it, he loved it, and then I don't remember which H Street video it was, but Operation Ivy, there was 3 songs in that next video that we came out with. And I can't even remember how old I was when I actually got on that team. I think I was maybe 17. I actually went to that summer camp in San Luis Obispo, sponsored by Vision. I was talking to someone new, and they were like, well, whatever, kid, and they didn't give me any boards. So I went to that camp with like one board, the board I was riding, and that skateboard camp, you rode 23 out of 24 hours a day, which is great, but your board's gonna go to shit. And they didn't give me one, and Mike Ternowski saw that, and he liked the way I was skateboarding and stuff, so he always was like, oh, dude, you need to ride for H Street, man. And then I was like, nah, because I was trying to be loyal. But and I called one more time, and I didn't get any boards. And he gave me a huge box, like 13 boards in it, and every kind of shirt in the world, even with the crazy tail, Magnuson tail shirts and everything, and just going, fuck. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll ride for you guys. And then I had to call Vision and say, look, I'm gonna ride for them, and then that was it. I never really looked back after that. We were filming for Shackle Me Not. We were still a brand new company, and hardly anybody knew who we were, and it kind of just, it was so brand new. I wasn't really worried about it. I was too busy skating. And I just noticed there was like a movement in skateboarding. You could feel that there was a change in the way, in the tide, not just with H Street, but with every company. I just think that video, the H Street video was so raw and so with the crazy music and just the wackiness of all of it. I think that ethos went out into the world, and kids everywhere, I think, saw that and said, yeah, we can do this. You don't need a ramp, and you don't need all these things, or you don't live 20 minutes from Del Mar to actually be part of what's happening. I think that just opened up the world of skateboarding to more people. It kind of went from, to nothing to everything really quickly with regards to people know who the hell you are. Which, I was happy and sad, if I'm being honest. It kind of like was a great thing and also just a weird thing for me. There's a pressure that comes along with that, and everybody handles it differently. It was weird for me at first. All of a sudden, like you're expected, and that's just the way that it is, I mean, even Mike Ternowski was like, okay, that was good. Now do that. To fakie and do just constantly push, which all great people do. If they want to push it and they want to push it. I remember that being the pressure feeling that I had. Dan Stewart pick me up, and we would go skateboarding all the time. He would try to he would call it walking the line with me. He'd wake up, he'd come to my house, sneak in my window, whatever, and like, we're walking the line today. And that meant for him, it's like to put me in a position that I may kill myself, And he used to do that, that bridge photograph, and that was also like him making me walk the line. And he put me in his weird predicaments all the time and tried to get me killed in a roundabout way and hopefully film it if it happens. That's the over where right before the 805 and the 5 break, that bridge, we snuck up to that bridge. We built a little quarter pipe. I put it on a board, and we snuck in the middle of the night and put it up against the thing, and then went back home. And then the next morning, I crawled on my belly on a skateboard for like 10 minutes to get to that spot. And Stuart dressed up as a freeway worker with the Caltrans jacket on. He had a little walkie-talkie. We did the trick. I didn't kill myself, obviously. We took it, and when we were done, then me and Dan did a self-portrait of like the victory and the bridge in the background. How sweet is that? Yeah, I loved filming with Dan, and I just felt a connection to him and to what was going on, and he did push it, but he made things interesting. I was skateboarding with Mike Ternowski, and we were filming, and he wanted more than I could give at that time, and it was just a weird time in my life, and I was just young. I mean, you know, when you're 18, you think you're the man, you know what you're doing. I mean, I'm 42, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think at that age, I thought I knew what I was doing, and my grandfather just passed away. A relationship with a longtime girlfriend of mine had gone to shit. Everything was kind of in a weird place, and I just felt that pressure, and MT was trying to, like, you know, you need to really step it up, Matt, you need to really, and I just kind of snapped right there, skating this curb. Just like stop skating it and just like, I don't know, dude, I think I need to just get away from something. I need to just do something else. I'm kind of falling apart here. I moved to Chicago to be a paramedic. All I had ever done to that moment was ride a skateboard, you know, and gave a shit about it. And I don't know, I just tripped out. I don't really have an exact reason. I just felt weird at the time, and I think I needed just to kind of escape that situation. I make it sound like I'm some fucking like famous actor who's tired of the paparazzi. I don't mean it to sound like that. I just kind of needed to get out of my own head for a while. And I didn't stop skateboarding. I just kind of stopped being part of the cycle of it. I wasn't on the headlines. I wasn't trying to get a paycheck from it. I wasn't trying to enter a contest and win. You know what I mean? I think I needed just to kind of do my own thing. Over time, you hopefully become wiser. I think about this all the time. If I would go back in time and maybe change my decision, I think I would, if given the, you know, that was just what happened. I met Dan Fields, who owned Session Skateboards in Chicago at the time, and he gave me a job at Session Skateboard Shop. So I still had, people would do demos, even, you know, Mike, H Street would roll through and I'd hang out with them, or the World Industries team would come into Chicago and they'd stay with us. I mean, Nadas would stay at my house, Gons would stay at our house. So we had, you know, people were always in, and it felt good. When I lived in Sessions, I lived above a bar or a venue called Metro in Chicago, which is like a venue that everybody that goes on, well, at least on a certain level, goes through. They play that club. So I got to go into all the shows for free. I got to meet so many people. I remember Bad Manners, their bass player broke their bass. So they borrowed our bass that we had in our house, and I was so happy that Bad Manners was using our house bass. I always felt attached to music, and I would always go to bars in Chicago and like play open mics, play guitar. I stopped being a paramedic, or attempting to be a paramedic, because in the process of doing that, I realized, as much as that sounds good on paper, that did not work for me. Then I went to the Art Institute of Chicago, and that was more my speed. I felt at home there. I felt comfortable there. You know, I'm a skateboarder. That's the crew that you run with. You know, more artistic side of life. Mike Ternowski passed away, and then I flew out for Mike's funeral, and at that funeral, Danny and all the guys on the team, including Mary, were like, "We'd like you to move back to California and be part of it. You know, be the manager, do something, keep the stream alive." So then I moved back to California. It wasn't soon after that I bought an accordion. All he wants from me is he wants a Guinness and a cigarette. And he's like, "I was gonna kill myself last week. Had the gun in my mouth, and I saw you guys were playing, so I hold it off. I want to see you guys." I mean, it's like, whew, and he means it. I'm fucking blessed to be in this position. And when you meet people that have their lives so fucked, and your music means a lot, it changes things. I'm gonna start crying now, dude.